Okay. All right, I'm in. There we go.
Good afternoon, Council. And let me see, I think we've got everybody with us. Councillor Fitzgerald is just signing on there. Anyways, thanks everyone for taking a few minutes to deal with a couple of timely issues regarding streetscape. I will call the meeting to order and confirm that we have quorum. And I would like to read the land acknowledgement statement. I would like to respectfully acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe under the terms of the Robinson-Huron Treaty number 61 of 1850 and the Williams Treaties of 1923. We commit to acknowledge, learn, educate, create opportunity, honor sacred places, and take actions toward real truth and reconciliation in support of our commitment to walking the path together in respect, peace, and harmony for future generations. And with that, I have a resolution moved by Deputy Mayor Alcock and seconded by Councillor Stone. Be it resolved that the special council meeting agenda dated Wednesday, March 16th, 2022 be adopted as printed and circulated. All in favor? And that carries. And are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, I have a resolution moved by Councillor Thompson and seconded by Councillor Weed. Be it resolved that Council approve the noise bylaw exemption request to permit Dufferin Construction Company to perform nightly construction work on the Main Street Streetscape project Monday to Thursday from March 21st to April 8th, 2022. Brandon?
Thank you, Your Worship, and members of council, thanks for taking the time to meet on such short notice. The first order of business I have is the noise bylaw exemption. So as you're aware, we have Center Street intersection up to Lorne closed for the remaining work of the streetscape project. At our last technical meeting, which included the contractor, the consultants, as well as the owners group, it was brought to our attention from the contractor that they are looking to work nights Monday to Thursday from March 21st to the April 8th, approximately 3 weeks. So that would take place at 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Our current contract, as well as our noise bylaw, does allow them to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So they understand that this is a major intersection and they would like to work around the clock to help expedite that and get that open. So we're seeking permission to have a noise bylaw exemption for the date specified in the report.
Questions, Council? Councillor Withey.
Thank you, Worship. This is the same as we did before, right? This is the exact same parameters and everything. We had one of these on for the last summer at one point, did we not?
Brandon?
Through Your Worship, I'm not aware if the former Director Hernan did bring a report back, but we did do some work that was outside the noise bylaw. So I can't really speak to the procedure that was done at that time.
You mean illegally?
No, we did have a report before us. I'm not sure if they actually did the work, but I do believe we approved a noise bylaw for a short period of time during phase one. Councillor Thompson.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you, Your Worship. And yes, we did. Absolutely, you're right. We did approve that for phase two. Phase two, phase three, I'm not sure which one it was, but we did approve that. Question I had for Brandon. Brandon, this noise bylaw exemption would apply just to the intersection. To get that done with as quickly as possible?
Through Your Worship, yeah, the intent from the contractor and the discussions that they brought forward was that this was to help expedite the construction in the intersection. We haven't received any requests from the contractor to perform any night work or have another noise bylaw exemption for the remainder of the work. But right now we're trying to just get through that intersection.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Councillor Armour.
Thank you, Chair Terziano. I think this is a great idea. Anything we can do to expedite that intersection getting completed and getting traffic moved. I don't know if anybody's driven around that way in the busy morning around 8 o'clock. It's pretty chaotic. So I think it's a super idea. And thanks for bringing it forward, fellas.
Councillor Withy.
Thank you, Worship. And why is Councillor Armour driving out at 8 in the morning? He's retired. Anyway, do you have, Brandon, can you give us sort of a general update of where we are in the entire project? Like how far behind or ahead or on track that we are? Like, do we have a timeline of how things are going generally?
Through your worship, if I can, I am bringing a report back to regular council on the 28th to speak to a complete update for that project. But I can tell you today that they have started the remainder of phase 3 and stripped all the asphalt, and all the crews are on site to get going. So they are in full force right now, which is good to see. But at the next regular council meeting, I'll be bringing a report forward with all that information.
Great, thank you.
Councillor Schumacher.
Thank you, through you, your worship, to Brennan. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. And again, I think it was maybe Councillor Stone who brought up that the intersection is the main part that we're looking at, not maybe further up Lauren, where there might be more residential people that we would be disturbing overnight, correct?
So through your worship, yes, that's correct. So right now the request is for work in that intersection. The contractor does not have permission to work on phase 4. Phase 4 from Center to Lorne is just a laydown area for their construction equipment. Right now, their only permission is to get in that intersection and get out. So once we're done that intersection, there may be a possibility that they request to work nights up there, and we may come back later with a report for another noise bylaw exemption.
Councillor Thompson.
Yeah, thanks again, Your Worship. But further to the exemption, Brandon, this would not be an ongoing thing. This would be periodical or a periodic from time to time when they required it or needed it. It wouldn't be like through the full term of this particular exemption period.
Through your worship. So as it sits right now, this is just a one-off request. Staff, we do not have delegation of authority to approve these requests for any future requests. So if any, this is again just pertaining to the intersection. So if there was any requests for phase 4, we would have to come back to council and ask for approval. But again, I can't see, we haven't been requested to do anything for phase 4 yet, as we're only at the intersection. But
Brandon, the noise exemption is Monday to Thursday. The contractors are still working Fridays, right? We're not dropping down to a 4-day work week or anything?
Through your worship. So the contract calls for Monday to Thursday work. So that was in the original contract. We did allow the contractor to work Fridays in order to make up lag time in the schedule if the schedule started to slip or there was delays due to weather, that type of stuff. So right now it's my understanding that they're looking to work Monday to Thursday, 24 hours. So my understanding is it's they have to have some off days, and I believe Friday is going to be one of them.
Okay, my recollection was they were supposed to be working Monday to Friday, and they very seldom work Fridays in the first couple of phases, but I could be wrong. Just further to that, there will be proper notification going out to anybody living in the area about the overnight work.
Absolutely, we'll do that through our communications team as well as our project team, and we'll, if approved today, we'll get those notices out ASAP.
Councillor Stone.
Thanks. This is great news, and I'm thrilled it's happening. I'm sorry for the residents, but let's do the Center Street as fast as possible. My question is, so if they're not going to be working Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is it going to be usable in any way, or are they just going to leave this open pit for 3 days?
Through your worship. So the intersection work is I don't believe you're going to see a great big hole. There's some extensive digging that we have to do in certain areas to repair certain things at different depths. So I don't think you're going to see the entire intersection as one big hole. But if they are not working Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, it will be fenced off and closed. Now, it is on the books and in our minutes of our meetings that they have the option to work Fridays if the schedule slips. But again, the contract does state Monday to Thursday. Back to Mayor Terziano's comments, we did try to have them work Fridays as part of the contract. If it rained on Wednesday and they didn't work Wednesday, we said, okay, you can make that day up on Friday. And those days weren't always worked. So I do understand that point of it, but I think this is a good news story that they're willing to try working at night to get out of there.
Okay, I don't see any further questions, so all in favor of the resolution? That carries. And just before I move on to report two, I realized that not all of council has met our new director of operations, because for me, it seems like he's been here for a while, but I realize he's only been here for about a week. So my apologies, Tarmo, for not introducing you to all of council at the beginning of the meeting, but Tarmo started just, I guess, a week ago Monday, so he hasn't been here very long, but certainly a warm welcome to you from council. And I know that you're in the thick of things because I've talked to you numerous times already, and I guess that's why I didn't realize all council hadn't met you. But a very warm welcome from everyone. And if there's anything that you would like to say, go ahead.
Oh, thank you for the warm welcome, Your Worship. I just would like to let council know that the team here at Town of Huntsville, this has been the best onboarding experience I've had through my 25-year government career. So kudos to the leadership of the mayor and council, as well as to the CAO and senior leadership here at the town. Thank you so much. And I should actually nod Steve Hernan, and the path that he paved forward was fantastic. So I'll keep it short, and thank you. I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Thanks. I'm sure everybody will get an opportunity to meet with you soon. It looks like we may go back to in-person meetings on a regular basis, so that'll be nice. Okay, one more quick report. I have a resolution moved by Councillor Armour, seconded by Councillor Withey. Be it resolved that council approve the proposed Main Street construction detour route as outlined in Report Ops 2022-13 for the Main Street Streetscape project, and further that bylaw 8993 be amended to identify the temporary one-way streets. Brandon?
Yes, thank you, Worship. So this report is in respect to the detour route, and it's already in place. It was in place on March 14th, so Monday. This was what came up in the last couple of weeks of our project team meetings and by the contractor. So the intent of these one-way streets is to help with the traffic flow. There was a previous bylaw approved. I believe it was in bylaw number 2022-19, and it was for some no parking to help with the traffic flow on Caroline Street, Lawrence Street, and also Minerva Street. So this detour falls into that, and we have a couple temporary one-way streets, and one is Caroline Street West from Center Street to Lawrence Street North. Then we have Lawrence Street North from Caroline Street West to Main Street. We have Lawrence Street South from Main Street to Minerva Street. And we also have West Street North from Main Street to Caroline Street. So we're asking to amend the bylaw to recognize those roads as temporary one-way roads for the duration of the project, and also the purpose of the bylaw so that they can be enforced. So this is already in place, and I apologize for the late communication on this, but it was finally decided by the project team at last minute. So,
okay, Councillor Withey.
Thank you, Worship. I I didn't notice this morning, but I can tell you I drove down Brunel, up Main, and then hung a right on West Street North, and there was vehicles coming in the other direction. I'm wondering why that section, why you determined
Through your worship,
to be one way. If somebody's coming up Center Street, hangs a lateral to go straight through west across Main Street, why wouldn't they be allowed to do that?
Your worship, so the purpose of the one-way on West Street North was simply for the traffic flow of trucks. So trucks can still enter and do deliveries onto Main Street from Brunel up to West. And with 2 lanes of traffic going down West, they would not be able to make that turn. So it was more for the safety and flow of traffic to make West Street a one-way. We did run into that issue yesterday with traffic coming both ways. There was some miscommunication with where the signs go because we're trying to also use the RBC parking lot as is. So they were this morning, and I met with them on site this morning to help reconfigure that. But that was the basis and thoughts put behind the one-way on West Street.
Councillor Schumacher?
Thank you, through you, your worship. And that was going to be my question, Brandon, was the Royal Bank parking lot, because the only access is off of West Street. So if you are coming in through Center, turn left on Caroline down there. Are we going to block off a couple of spots right on Caroline that people would have access? Because they can't turn right then to access the entrances on West Street.
Through your worship, so it's not in any of our plans to take away any parking. We have gone to the contractor and asked for some additional flag persons at these intersections to help with the traffic flow of the detour. I can admit there has been some confusions. It is our 3rd day in that detour. So it will take a little bit for people to get used to in the public, but we have added additional contractor staff members to those locations to help with the flow of traffic.
Okay, and follow up with regards to this layout. When you talk about, and you talked about notices to residential for the last report, do notices go to actual homes, businesses, that kind of thing, or do we just post it on our website and hope that people are looking?
So it has just gone to the websites and Digging Downtown and on Engage Muskoka as well, but that request has been put forward to the communications and projects team, and I believe they will be reaching out individually to those people affected.
Okay, you all heard the question, all in favor? And that carries. A resolution moved by Councillor Fitzgerald, seconded by Councillor Schumacher. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2022-25, amendment to traffic control bylaw 8993, streetscape, be reported and read the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd time, and finally passed the 16th day of March 2022. All in favor? And that carries. And a resolution moved by Councillor Stone, seconded by Deputy Mayor Alcock. Be it resolved that confirmation bylaw 2022-26 be received, numbered, and read a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd time, and finally passed the 16th day of March 2022. All in favor? That carries. And I have a resolution moved by Councillor Weed, seconded by Councillor Thompson. Be it resolved that we do now adjourn at 12:34 p.m. All in favor? That carries. And thanks, everyone. And we'll see most of you back for planning in a few minutes.